You how to do a nomad build, but my version ish. Not gonna go as extreme as I tend to do, because if you're behind by a lot, you will lose. Alright, your first two vills, you always want to place on a wood line. And then you always want to place your third vill on the dock, so you can start fishing early. If you didn't know, fishermen drop off fish in the dock instead of a townsend or a mill in a kind of a recent update, but it's always been that way for Xbox players anyways. You always want to push your two closest, but since my water's right here too, I was gonna also send my vill to. And with any civ that's not Dravidians, you're gonna need a house as well, so you don't get housed early. And I'm showing with a very generic civ, so each civ that you use on NOMAD will probably have a heavy nomad bonus to it, so it should be an easier build with whatever civ you decide to use. And it's really important to, not necessarily, but you always try to want to have one sheep, but if not, you can do it without sheep too. It's just much more difficult. And what I do is I put almost everything on wood to begin with, because you want to get the docks rolling, the fishing ships rolling. And it's really nice that I see a boar, because I always put like two of my first, I don't know, 7 villagers on a boar, so I don't idle my town center once that time comes. Like after Loom, you don't want to really idle your town center once Loom starts. You're trying to not idle at all in any map ever, but if you can really not idle it Nomad, you're going to put yourself off to a huge start. And when I don't have a lot of vills, I like to shoot my town center. It's kind of complicated sometimes, but it is nice if you can manage it. And here I'm gonna put 2 of my first 6 villagers, or 7 I guess technically, on food. And my goal is to not idle my town center while also producing a lot of fishing ships. On solos it's not too important to produce a lot, but on team games you really want to place a lot of fishing ships, because you have more fish to fish in team games than you do in solos. But also in solos, it's important to be up first, because you don't have a teammate to rely on to take the brunt of your. And I already know I'm gonna be a little bit behind, so. I want food, so trying to even it out where I'm producing. Eventually you want to be producing non-stop out of both, but your main priority is always, of course, villagers or fishing ships. But I tend to only get 1 boar, but since I already see a 2nd boar, I will be getting that as well. And you can always, I don't really recommend placing people on berries, because then you have to usually build a mill, but. And you also want to make sure you never get housed. Which hopefully I don't, but I think I'll be alright. It's gonna be really close if I managed to not get housed. And once you're producing pretty much non-stop, which I could produce, you just want to make sure you always have enough houses. Those fishing ships will start coming out. And once I have like 4 or 5 fishing ships, I know I don't have that yet, I try to build my 2nd dock to start producing out 2 docks. And that's when you really start to get your eco lead. Like you can already see, my score is quite a bit higher than campers. Or not quite a bit, but it could be due to scouting, because I have scouted about 1/4 of the map. And I like to put my dock on left bumper, D-pad up, but there's a hotkey for all that. But I don't really use hotkeys too often, so.
Hi, I'm Katria. Bad. Toyar. Hi. Shottori. Bad. Adish. Katria.
Hi, আমি যাই
Here we go.
নির্মাণকারী জালু
You usually want at least 3 docks when you go up, because your
আদেশ
opponent will tend not to go as committed as you are, and then you're able to win water much easier. But I can already see his town center, so now that I see his town center, I might do some other things.
Toyar. Toyar. Nirmankari.
Get house if I'm not careful. I'll be house for a split second actually.
Adish. Nirmankari. Nirmankari. Hi. Katria.
That's okay. And then once I have, I don't know, a set amount of fishing ships, just whenever you have time, I think, I like to scout the map, or scout with my boat around the whole map so I can uncover the fish and also uncover where my opponent has a dock at, which will help you a lot when you're trying to strategically place docks to get your fire ships out faster than him. And in 1v1s, and probably Xbox in general, you hardly ever want to go galleys, because it's just so much harder to micro. And I like to add the mill here since I already know where berries are at, because I tend to forget to build a mill when I'm looking to build a market. I know it's pretty simple, but sometimes the game does not like my commands.
Hey, Katria.
And before I try to click up, I want to start sending people to gold, because I obviously need gold to produce fire ships.
Hey.
And here on my idol, pretty much just my town center probably.
Bad, bad.
After this fill, so I can get up at a quicker time. And see, here's where you really want to start focusing fishing ships once you win water, because your people work so much more efficient. Right there. And he's gonna toss me villagers, so that's always nice. And now I'm on my way up. Once I click up, I even want to send war vills to gold, because it's just important. I started scattered him, but I'm more afraid of him being on this side than the other side.
Hey,
Probably overcommitted. Send these guys back. Oh, there he is actually down there.
Hey.
I like to get lumber camp too, so you can get your upgrades, and then make sure you won't get housed. Oh, see, he's already up before me, but I have 3 ducks. He's only got 1, it looks like, so even though he's up before me, I'm gonna produce much faster than him.
Hi, আমি চাই Katria.
And with Bengalis, I also get 2 additional villagers, but I guess it's kind of beside the point. I wasn't necessarily looking for that bonus. To get tossed me this villager too.
Hi.
Adish. Shottori. Katria.
See, my score's quite a bit higher. I mean, that has a lot to do with scouting, but that also means I have a better just economy than him, more than likely.
Katria.
And you really want to produce like 3 fire ships out of 2 docks as fast as possible, just so you get your numbers advantage really quick. And once you get your advantage, it's pretty much impossible to lose it once you start it.
Adish. Nirmankari. Hi. Katria.
And as soon as I get my initial 3, I'm just going to send a attack move to his dock. We'll see if he even commits, because he probably knows I'm ahead, because he's seen 2 of my docks already. So he might not even commit to water. Oh, he is, but he's going galley. and you'll just see why here I don't recommend galleys.
तो यार जो गाड़ी
Galleys are good
हमें
long term,
चाहिए।
but short term, it's just too much to manage on
निर्माणकारी
controller.
जालुआ
Like he's gonna lose. He already lost his first iteration of war, and now it's gonna get even worse for him. At this point, I need to start worrying about clicking up, so I need to start getting my buildings down. So I'm gonna go blacksmith, marketplace always.
आदेश
And
सत्तरी
since I do know where he's at, go ahead and drop a tower.
निर्माणकारी
Get him off his wood line. I should have done that earlier, but
काठुरिया
I honestly forgot. My town center not supposed to do that, but not the end of the world.
हाय सत्तू
Oh, he's actually smart. He placed his wood line where I can't even wall tower, so
আদেশ আমি সত্য
not even gonna commit to it now because he'll expect it. So
নির্মাণকারী কাঠুরিয়া
and then I just bought food to get up.
तो
हाय
यार सत्तू निर्माणकारी काठुरिया
But like now he's gonna lose all of his fishing ships. Now I want to chase this demo down so where it only gets one shot instead of a shot on.
তৈয়ার নির্মাণকারী কাঠুরিয়া
And here's kind of where the build's gonna end, but since I'm already playing the game, I'll finish the game out. But from here, you just need to do whatever it takes to win the game.
हे आदेश तो यार काठुरिया
He's obviously
Hi.
trying to drop a castle on me, so
নির্মাণকারী
I'm gonna try to force it out as much as I can.
হে নির্মাণকারী তৈয়ার নির্মাণকারী হয় সত্তরে আদেশ
Yeah, I forced him to have a bad castle.
काठुरिया
তৈয়ার কাঠুরিয়া
He's Saracen, so he's gonna go Mamelukes. I'll probably just answer with
হয় হয় আমি কাঠুরিয়া
I'm just gonna initially answer with more town centers so I can protect myself, and then probably switch into camp or
तो यार
তৈয়ার নির্মাণকারী
आदेश
নির্মাণকারী
I'll just go ahead and get low barrels since I have
তৈয়ার নির্মাণকারী
it. And since I already have a lot of gold, I'll transition to monks. And now it's nice because I'll always have an eco advantage over him because I have the water now. So it's gonna make it really tough for him. It's actually really tough anyways because now I'm gonna go monks as well.
আদেশ
And monks kind of just are
নির্মাণকারী
super strong with the civ.
হে
And I'm gonna go
শতারিয়া
elements. Now kind of out of my town center, I'm really recommended, but
খননকারী
I'm more worried about getting military out now than anything else.
हे खननकारी
And since I'm gonna have a plethora of wood, I'm just gonna start dropping a lot more ships because I already know I won water.
काठुरिया
So once you win water, you can kind of afford. And I still have 8 fire ships on the map.
হয় আমি যাই তোমার সেবা হয় হরির নামেতে
Alright, some more villagers there. And now it's just out filling the game out what you need. which you don't need. I mean, at this point, I'm really far ahead, so I'm just gonna keep spamming ships. Since I have a lot on wood, probably need to fix that, but
Jogaria.
হরির নামেতে সত্যরে আমি যাই তোমার সেবায়
he's on archers, which is fine. Wasn't really expecting that, but
আদেশ তোরে
Saracens are known for that.
খননকারী
Since he's archers, I will go ahead and get the armor.
হয় হয়
হায় হায়
নির্মাণকারী
আদেশ সত্যরে
আদেশ
হয় আমি যাই হয় আমি যাই আদেশ
তৈয়ার খননকারী
হয় সত্যরে আদেশ হরির নামে আমি যাই তোমার সেবায় হয় আদেশ সত্য আমি যাই হরির নামেতে সত্যরে হয় সত্য
তৈয়ার হে নির্মাণকারী
তোমার সেবায় হয়
Now, elephants are just obviously hella strong, so I can kind of just spam them in.
হরির নামেতে হয়
And my monks are really strong with this civ as well.
আমি যাই আদেশ তোমার সেবায় সত্য আদেশ হরির নামেতে সত্য
তৈয়ার নির্মাণকারী
আদেশ নির্মাণকারী আদেশ খননকারী
তোমার সেবায় হরির নামেতে আমি যাই তোরে হয় সত্যরে আমি যাই আদেশ আমি যাই সত্যরে
And this all stems from having more wood than food and wood than him to make more docks. I mean, I was starting to lose a lot of fishing ships here, but I didn't notice that eventually. And there is that. Wasn't too great, but try to get my point across. And obviously with other ships you do different strategies, but and this civ isn't necessarily that good on water either. They do have a bonus about garrisoning fishing ships and docks, but it's not too important unless you're losing, which I never was, so. But you can see here, like, down, like, I had the advantage the whole game. With, like, economy. Besides, like, at the 11 mark, other than that, you can just pretty much a straight decline on economy lead. Like, when he hits feudal age, I probably have 60%. That means I have 10% more economy than him. Yeah, Fishbone for the win. I mean, I ended up with 20. Granted, he wasn't really going for heavy food, but I still had more wood than him and more gold. And that all stems from just more villagers. I didn't have to send as much to food. I didn't have any except 3 on berries, other than 3 on board, but other than that, all of my villagers were collecting wood or gold. And then stone toward the end. But theirs is the Nomad build. I will try to do other. No, you're good, camper. Maybe you'll get better at Nomad rewatching that. Bulls. I was kidding. Just giving you a hard time. Just kind of, I picked a kind of